Welcome back to Cooking with Dr. Mehtaverse, where in this week's episode we're going to be taking a look at Afghani chicken. No one knows the origin of Afghani chicken. Is it truly a dish originated in Afghanistan? Or is it named so because of the traditional ingredients used in Afghani cooking? Afghani chicken is a beautiful dish full of flavor, which is a combination of spices which lets the meat shine instead of the spices. It is a quick and easy recipe for which you can have two variants: the kebab or the dry type, which you can serve as a starter, and a gravy which is meant to be served as a main course. Both variants require little to no effort, since that is the beauty of Afghani cooking, taking simple ingredients and elevating it to an amazing level beyond the level of comprehension of our wildest thoughts. So let's have a meet with our ingredients, shall we? Curd, butter, turmeric, garam masala, or fried fenugreek, onions, garlic, coriander, chili, ginger. Usually with every meat dish, we start with the marination of the meats first, and this dish is no exception to that rule. But it is a bit different from the traditional marination in the sense that the marinade itself is the gravy for the dish. So we will start by taking our mixer jar, our onions, our garlic, our ginger, chilies and coriander leaves, our spices, salt, turmeric, garam masala, fried fenugreek, our curd, clarified butter. So to our mixer bowl, we will directly add in 2 onions, a bit of garlic, 2 green chilies, 1 cup of ginger, 10 grams of coriander, clarified butter, tablespoon, half a teaspoon of garam masala, half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of salt, 1 cup of curd, half a teaspoon of rice. Once all that is added into the mixer jar, we can blend it into a fine paste which will become the marinade for the chicken as well as the gravy. With that out of the way, 50% of our recipe is done already. All that's left is to marinate the chicken, keep it in for half an hour, then cook it. It's as simple as that. That we will be requiring chicken marinade. Just mix the marinade well into the chicken using our hand, and once we're done with that, our marinade and chicken should look something like this. With that done, we can set it aside for half an hour for marination till the marinade soaks into the chicken, and then we can begin with our final process, which is cooking of the chicken. So after we're done marinating the chicken for about half an hour, now finally begin the cooking process. We'll be dividing our chicken into 2 halves. One half will go into the oven, which will be used as a starter, and the second half will be cooked in a pan as the form of our main dish. So for our entree, which I'll be baking in the oven, we'll require our baking tray, which I have pre-lined with a parchment paper, and we will require our chicken. Line the baking tray with the marinated chicken. Here I am using half of it since I am making both styles of Afghani chicken. And we'll put this in the oven. Into the oven, the baking tray will go, setting the oven to 180 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 20 minutes. Over onto the stove, add in 1 tablespoon of clarified butter to the pan, let it melt and add the gravy and stir it well, mixing the melted clarified butter into the gravy. Once the gravy starts to simmer, put a lid on the pan and let it reduce till about half its volume, checking on the gravy and stirring occasionally. Once the gravy has been reduced, add in the marinated chicken into the pan and let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes, stirring the gravy occasionally and covering with a lid in between. Once the gravy reaches a thicker consistency, we can add in the required amount of salt as per your taste and half teaspoon of dried fenugreek, which we can crush between our fingers or in our palms before adding it into the gravy. Then in case your gravy becomes too thick, add in a cup of water to thin it out to reach your desired consistency. Authentic Afghani chicken curry is usually of a thicker consistency, but you can thin it out to your desired consistency as well. And this is what the final dish looks like. So amazing and mouth-watering. Just want to dive right in and eat it all up. And now we're finally done. Everything is complete. See, this was a very simple and easy recipe. And the whole kitchen smells amazing. And my mouth is watering since a long time. Let's dive right in, shall we? I'll start with the gravy on the right. That was amazing. It's amazing, it's delicious, it's buttery, it's smooth. It's not too spicy, it's spicy in a way that you least expect it. All these spices come together and lift up the ingredient of the dish, hero ingredient of our dish, the chicken. And damn, this is a good recipe. In case you wanted to make it more authentic, Afghani chicken usually uses with bone chicken, mainly the leg or the thigh piece. Let's move on to our starter, which is on the left, well, left of me, right for you. Just grab one piece. I'll dip it in my barbecue sauce. And again, our Afghani chicken tikka is also amazing. The flavor is exactly similar to what we find in the gravy. Again, my only complaint with this tikka is that the size of chicken pieces is way too small. I would have liked a meatier dish with a lot more tikka coming in the middle. Afghani chicken is a mild dish with the spices which enhance the flavor of the chicken. Hope you guys enjoyed the recipe, and I'll see you folks in the next video.